Hello, welcome to Local Anaesthetic Podcast, your weekly injection of mind-numbing local news. My name is Alex, and joining us, as always, still alive, still well, is Rob. How you doing there, Rob?
Yep, I'm not too bad, mate. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm not under the weather,
On your knees.
which is good. No, I'm still in myself mentally with it to the best of my ability. Does that make sense?
Well, I think the fact you're saying that suggests, yeah.
Yeah, possibly not. But apart from I'm okay. I haven't got the virus, which is the main thing.
As far as you know, Rob, you
True.
could be an asymptomatic carrier.
I don't think I would ever be that special, Alex.
Well, look, Rob, we're back to kind of normal service. In a way, back to LA podcast, Local Anaesthetic, after our last episode, of course, of where we detoured into Daft Talk, which will be back after this episode at some point. And I think people really enjoyed it, Rob. I know I had some good feedback about it. Did we get any feedback on our various platforms?
We had a few comments. So Face the Stranger said yay. I don't know if that was just the fact that his logo was being featured.
Yeah. Thank you again, Face the Strange, for that.
Amy said that she loved it. I've also been responsible for 2 or 3 rodent deaths, which is...
can you ask her to send us the details of the rodent deaths that she was involved in, and we'll read them out on Daft Talk?
Do you really want those?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, at least one of them will be hilarious, I would imagine.
Yeah, I suspect that may well be the case.
Come on, Amy, send us the details.
And Steve also says Daft Talk was very enjoyable. Finally, a practical use for Yahoo Answers.
Yeah.
Very true. He goes on to say, I've noticed in recent years Alex's gift for local stories of the heart and love lawn. In a similar vein, there is a Reddit relationships page. Oh my God, can you imagine what that's like?
No, I've looked at it many times. Yeah, that would also, to be fair. Actually, do you know what? Because one of the things we said about Daft Talk were ideas for segments.
Yeah.
And I do think that we could do with something to break it up a bit. I will do a segment on relationship.
He does say, could Alex dispatch some advice and ship's captain-like guidance, I like that, from it as a regular feature. So, yeah, that's been requested.
Well, I think, we could both dissect. Okay, so we'll have we'll do that. Yeah, in Daft Talk.
He also asked whether it was you playing the recorder on the theme tune.
No, I mean, I'm very flattered that people think I'm that good at playing the recorder. No, that was some royalty-free music that I sourced from somewhere. Right, Rob, I've got, you know what? With this hiatus due to Daft Talk that we've had, I've got too many stories that I can feature, which is always a nice situation to be in.
It is.
We are recording for the fastidious amongst you on the 2nd of April, 2020. April Fool's Day came and went this year without anybody saying anything, because due to the worldwide pandemic, it would have been in bad taste.
Yeah, agreed.
Can you imagine a paper? Pandemic's over! April Fool!
People running outside, celebrating, and then falling into the floor with some sort of horrible what's the word I'm looking for? Respiratory illness. Not
right.
funny in the slightest, but yeah.
Right, Rob, I'm going to kick us off then with this is just a fantastic story. Because what's happening, I think, Rob, is that as the lockdown in our country and in other countries around the world continues, people are becoming more and more desperate, and we're seeing more and more bizarre stories related to what's going on. Anyway, this is one about really the big... Rob, you know when David Cameron spoke about... Right, let's go back to when David Cameron was our Prime Minister and he spoke about the big society. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So we went from Thatcher saying there's no such thing as society to David Cameron saying, well, actually, there's a big society. But it was basically his set way of saying, can you lot all do the work rather than us having to do anything as government?
Basically.
But I think if ever David Cameron's idea of a big society could have been realised, this is it, Rob, in essence.
Okay.
Because would you say, Rob, it's fair to say that part of the reason that we're in the problems that we are in this country with our NHS is because of the chronic lack of underfunding over the years by the Conservative government?
Of course. I mean, I don't think many people would disagree with that.
Well, Rob, this is from the Metro. It's by Jen Mills from the 28th of March. I really hope you haven't seen this. Medical Fetish site donates entire stock of disposable scrubs to NHS.
No.
Oh, well, you missed out on a treat. A medical fetish company has donated its entire stock of disposable scrubs to the NHS. MedFet UK did it after being contacted by procurement representatives struggling to find the right equipment amid the coronavirus pandemic. Writing about it on Twitter, the company has said this, Rob. Today, we donated our entire stock of disposable scrubs to an NHS hospital. It was just a few sets because we don't carry large stocks, but they were desperate, so we sent them free of charge. And they then go on to make some political statements, which I'm going to read out in a moment, Rob. But let's just focus on the first bit of this story. There is a fetish site out there which sells scrubs. So these are for people with a sexual medical fetish, I assume.
I don't know why I'm surprised by this. I mean, of course there is, because you think, people like latex, they like rubber, they like the feel of it, so of course there is.
I did realise that I may be talking to the wrong person about this, expecting you to find this maybe humorous, because of course, as fetishes go, the honey monster costume is a bit out there, but,
right. Exactly. If you want to call me a sexual deviant, just call it to me. Don't beat around the bush.
It started with Snap, Crackle and Pop, and it moved on to the honey monster. I still remember that time, Rob, you dressed up as the Kellogg's Cornflakes rooster and wandered round the town centre shouting, "Look at me, I'm a giant cock."
People found that funny.
Right, anyway, but Rob, I like this company who are called MedFet UK because they did decide not just to say that on Twitter, but said the following, which is amazing. When we, a tiny company set up to serve a small section of the kink community, find ourselves being sought out as a last resort supplier to our National Health Service in a time of crisis, something is seriously wrong. Let's be under no illusions, this is the result of a decade of chronic underfunding and cuts, which has left the NHS barely able to cope under normal circumstances, much less when faced with the onslaught of a global pandemic. It did not, and should not, have to be this way. So when it's all over, and the doctors, nurses and other staff have done an amazing job, as undoubtedly they will do in the circumstances, let's not forget or forgive the ones who sent the NHS into this battle with inadequate armour and one hand tied behind its back.
I feel we should applaud that comment.
Shall we?
Yep. Because there was
There were some great replies on Twitter. David Paisley said, worth reading. Yes, this is a medical fetish website. The NHS Trust have been tapping for supplies as they're not getting them from normal supply chains. Mr. Demos of Finks says, imagine the scriptwriters of a political satire sat round a table. Okay, we have a pandemic, right, and the government has run out of protective gear, so they have to turn to a medical fetish supplier to provide it. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, Armando Iannucci couldn't have written this.
No, I mean, we've discussed in this podcast many times that I don't know when it happened, but we are living in a world that's beyond satire because nothing seems impossible now. It's just bizarre.
That's a nice way of putting it. Nothing seems impossible now. Drew Millward says, well, I wasn't anticipating the heroics of a medical fetish company to be a shining beacon of righteousness and clarity in this difficult time, but here we are. Welcome to 2020, people. Now, Rob, I really want to petition you for the episode title to just be a shining beacon of righteousness and clarity in this difficult time. That is one of our best ever episode titles and would be very fitting for the current situation we're in.
I know what you're going to say as soon as I heard the quote. Yes, of course it will be.
Thank you, Rob. Rob, would you like a story from a paper we've never featured before? A local paper?
Go on then.
Would you like a story from the North Wales Live?
I've also got the story from the North Wales Live.
Does it involve a naked man?
No.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so this is by Owen Evans. Could you have a more Welsh name?
No.
Right, okay, let's pick out. Okay, what's a really, really, really strong Welsh forename? Owen. What's a really, really strong Welsh surname? Evans. Owen Evans. I don't think he really exists. Can I just check, by the way?
Usually in the Welsh, it's actually pronounced Owain, but...
Owain Evans, okay. Owain Evans.
Depending on the spelling.
Right. 27th of March, 2020. Naked man jumped through elderly couple's window and ran around house while high on drugs.
Alex, I told you, I thought they would find it funny.
Rob, again, it's the details in this story. Kelvin Hughes of Poyser Street, Wrexham, has been jailed for 38 weeks, Rob, after he embarked on a rampage which saw him attack his ex-partner and vandalise properties. Now, I do have to warn listeners, parts of this are upsetting. But Rob, this is a definition of a rampage.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Chester Magistrates Court heard how Hughes, 40, turned up at his former partner's address at around 12:15 p.m. on Saturday, March the 21st, whilst under the influence of illegal drugs. He was asked to leave but initially refused before physically assaulting the woman. Hughes then took off all his clothes and ran out of the address and onto Shelley Road. As he ran down the road, he threw stones at residents' windows, and he then ran towards the home of an elderly couple who he had never met and punched a hole in their front window.
He punched a hole in their window?
He then proceeded to jump through the window and ran around the terrified couple's address naked. Can you imagine? They're sitting there watching Last of Summer Wine with a Mr. Kipling's tart, and maybe a finger of fudge, and this happens.
Perverts. I mean, to be fair, I don't think he needs to be elderly. I would find that genuinely terrifying if a man punched a hole in my front window, jumped through bollock naked, and then proceeded to run around my house.
Yeah, police were called to the scene. He was arrested and taken to hospital for treatment for a number of injuries he sustained during his rampage. Anyway, that's kind of that. I mean, that's a story only in Wales, I would say. Rob, do you want a story from another paper we've never heard of? I'm on a roll here.
Okay, go ahead.
The Western Telegraph. We've never had that before, have we?
No.
I have no idea where it covers.
The Western Telegraph?
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I've never heard of that.
Pembrokeshire.
Oh, okay. So Wales again.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm on a roll. Craig, where are you? This is from the 29th of March. I love this story. I really hope you didn't see it. It was reported nationally. This is a local version. Did you see it, Rob? Oh, God, I hope you didn't see it. Right. Police stop driver making 224-mile trip to buy eBay item. Have you seen this story?
No.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, Rob. You've been so busy this week you haven't had time to read the news. But it gets better, this story. A motorist was stopped by a motorway patrol on a 224-mile round trip to buy a £15 item off eBay. This is under the lockdown. What could be so important about this 225 miles? That's a lot, Rob.
I'm hoping it goes on to say what the item was.
We'll see. The driver travelled from Coventry to collect the eBay purchase of windows in Salford, Greater Manchester. By the way, what I love about this is it's from the Western Telegraph, but it has nothing to do with their area. They're just covering it in the national news section.
Also, let's be honest, there's no windows in Salford. They've all been smashed. So, that is a joke.
I want those windows. I'm prepared to drive 224 miles to get them. Can I say £15 is very cheap for windows?
I was about to say, that does seem very reasonable. I wonder if they were double glazed. Why does that matter?
I wonder if he thought it was a copy of like a Windows operating system.
I mean, even for 15 quid, that's good. That's value for money. Unless it's like Windows 95. Windows Vista. No one wants that.
Unfortunately, Rob, this story is very small. We only have 2 paragraphs left.
Oh, what?
But wait, Rob. Oh my God. How am I going to read this out? After picking up his purchase in Salford, unfortunately the driver's wife, who went with him, could not fit in the vehicle for the 2-hour return journey south. So he's gone with his wife, but he's not thought about the fact that once he's got the windows in the car, she won't be able to fit in. So, when the police stopped the car, they found her in the boot.
This story is amazing. How is that? I don't quite
They were
understand.
pulled over by a motorway patrol on the M6 in Cheshire, according to a tweet by the North West Motorway Police Twitter feed. It said, a driver has travelled from Coventry to Salford to collect a £15 eBay purchase of windows. His wife could not fit in the vehicle, so she was found in the boot for the return journey when stopped on the M6 Cheshire. He's been given a traffic offence. Can you imagine? Imagine that conversation with the wife. So she's like, what didn't you think about this? What are we going to do? Yeah. Would you be okay going in the boat? I mean...
Alex, let's be honest.
At least you didn't stick her on the roof rack, Rob.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions, but I'm going to anyway. if you're making a 200-mile round trip to collect a £15 window, I imagine you're the kind of person to be willing to travel in a car boot.
Okay, Rob, have you got some stories for us?
The first was a bit generic. You've probably seen it, but I just wanted to feature it anyway. So the first
I'm intrigued.
story,
Generic. A generic news story.
Well, it's from the Metro, first of all. So
Right, yeah.
It's by Lindsay. No, it's not. It's by Jessica Lindsay from the 26th of March. People are selling Big Macs and nuggets on eBay after McDonald's closes.
Sorry. You shouldn't have downplayed this story at the beginning, Rob.
Oh, sorry.
This isn't generic. What do you mean they're selling Big Macs? What, like a bit? Sorry, what do you mean a Big Mac they bought a couple of weeks ago and they've kept in the fridge?
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah.
But who would do that and why? Who buys a Big Mac and thinks I'm going to keep it for a couple of weeks? And by the way, wouldn't it go off? Or are they making their own Big Macs and selling? Sorry, what do you mean? You can't send a cooked beef patty in the post.
Well,
Can you imagine getting a Jiffy bag through with a fucking Big Mac in it? Actually, I quite like that right now. I'm quite hungry. I would quite happily have a McDonald's right now.
And that's where this person is obviously thinking. They know that people are, unfortunately, do crave McDonald's, and I think that's something to do with the nature of their ingredients. And they were trying to monopolise on that. So that this entrepreneurial person has gone down to McDonald's when it was still open, obviously bought a job lot, stuck it in the freezer, and is now selling it on eBay.
Sorry, really? So they suspected McDonald's would close. You can't freeze a whole Big Mac, can you?
You could. Well, they've managed
the entire thing? What do you mean you freeze a Big Mac? It's got lettuce in it. It's got gherkins. It's got.
It doesn't say they specifically froze it. It might have been in the fridge. I mean, I don't know.
Rob, a Big Mac won't keep longer than the day or two in the fridge, mate.
That was going to be my point. I'm not sure I'd want to eat a Big Mac more than 24 hours after purchase.
No, okay, read me the story. It's angering me, actually. I feel anger.
So, eBay is normally used for selling old toys, clothes, and to make space in your home. In the wake of COVID-19, however, it's taken a very strange turn, and people are now selling Big Macs and McNuggets on the platform. So McDonald's announced the closure of all their locations for takeaway and delivery this week for the safety of staff and customers alike. Muck fanatics were miffed at this and were desperate to get their hands on these sweet nugs however they could. Something about the phrase sweet nugs that really makes me uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
Can I just say that looking on Google around this, I noticed it was also covered in the Wales Online.
It doesn't surprise me. No, sounds about right.
This burger that somebody's selling on eBay isn't frozen. It's there. It's fresh with the receipt.
There's no way that's fresh, though, is it? Not anymore. Not anymore. I wonder if it's still online. I mean, it was selling for 13 quid. That's where these enterprising e-buyers came in, buying what they could get their hands on before the closure and selling it off for a premium in later days. 12 people bid on the Big Mac.
It won't last that long. You can't. I would not feel safe eating a bit. By the time Royal Mail had got it to you, it'd be 5 days afterwards, and you're eating a cold Big Mac.
Yeah.
I'll never forget once a friend of mine, if you're listening, I won't name him. I don't want to embarrass him, but you know who you are. Me and a group of friends once went to cinema. This is when we were teenagers, probably 15 or something, I don't know. And we went to McDonald's beforehand. But as I remember it, he bought 2 Big Macs and kept one in his jacket pocket. And I think he had it either during the cinema showing or afterwards, sort of lukewarm. I found that a bit odd.
Well, I mean, I probably should admit this, but I once tried to go into a Cineworld with a full McDonald's takeaway, and they were not too pleased about that.
How did they notice you were smuggling it? Did you shove it down your trousers?
I wasn't even smuggling it. I was just carrying it in the bag.
No. When I was at university, a friend of mine, whenever we got McDonald's, somebody who I lived with, we had 4 of us living in a house. I think it was in my second year. He had and he said it was like habitual and he couldn't get out of it. When we'd all go and get McDonald's, he didn't get like a drink or chips ever. He said every time he got McDonald's, it was always the same thing. 4 cheeseburgers.
Nice.
And he'd sit there and eat them one by one.
I don't see a problem with that. He obviously knows what he
this
likes.
Is making me hungry.
Yeah, I must admit this isn't helping. Just to finish off the article, just to say that the proceeds for the Big Mac apparently was donated to the amazing NHS staff, so that's quite nice. And And the 6 Big Macs that were selling for £2.40, the listing apparently said, nearly new box of nuggets with 6 missing. We'll swap for 4 rolls of Andrex toilet paper. So that's that. Right, Alex, this next story I love. I really should have found out where this is. So, again, from a paper we've never featured, it looks like it's Aberdeen, so it looks like it's Scotland. I'm just going to try and just confirm.
Well, Aberdeen is in Scotland. I can confirm that fact.
I meant the paper itself.
And I've been there.
I've been to. You've been to Aberdeen as well.
Well, we've got friends who lived there. So when I was younger, yeah, I used to hate driving to fucking Scotland. I mean, I wasn't driving; I was in the back of the car. But driving to Scotland. I admire my parents for having. I wouldn't do that with my if I had kids. Fuck that.
Well, the thing is, so when we went to Scotland, we always got the train, and you could get a direct train from Cheltenham directly up to Aberdeen, which used to take 8 hours.
I'm not into long journeys. I'm going to be honest.
No, it was you got to Preston. It's like I'm done now. Anyway, yeah. So this is from the Evening Express, which is indeed Aberdeen. There's no journalist listed. It's from the 11th of March. It does go back a bit. Now, you just have to bear with this headline. Wanted cow that has evaded US police since January, faster than it looks.
Sorry, wanted what?
Cow.
I thought you said Carol. I thought, what the fuck is a wanted cow? Wanted cow?
Wanted cow that has evaded US police since January, faster than it looks. What a story. I don't know how this has ended up in the paper in Aberdeen, but hey, it's here. So
Aberdeen Angus, Rob.
Oh, very good, yeah.
That must be why. Have you ever been to an Aberdeen Angus steakhouse?
No, I've never. Yeah,
No, they look grim.
Yeah, they all look. Whenever I've seen them, they've always looked slightly dated, like they're just out of the 80s.
Well, I love the booths. I mean, if I had it my way, everywhere would have booths.
Oh, okay.
I love boobs.
I genuinely thought I love boobs. I thought that's what you said.
No, well, that too, but booths, BOOTHS.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Rob.
So, a cow described as faster than it looks is wanted by US police after evading capture for a month.
Can I just say, I wish somebody needs to just right now, that is the whole premise of a new cartoon show. You know, like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner?
Yeah.
It's this cow constantly evading police, but it's a cartoon.
Oh, I'd love that. That definitely
Come on,
has
Warner
legs.
Brothers, get the old classics back and make it.
So the elusive females... Sorry, the elusive...
Hang on. Cow and cops.
The kids would love it, Alex. So the elusive female has been on the loose in South California since January, and local authorities have now issued a wanted poster for her.
Fuck off.
So I haven't
you got a picture?
I haven't
there?
looked at the story in a while. It's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah, could you just try and... So the police force is called Pembroke Pines PD. Pembroke...
If I just put cow...
wanted cow. So while Alex is looking... I'm just going to read out the text from the wanted poster.
Oh my God. That poster, I want that on my wall. Wanted, unknown cow. That cow does not look like it would be fast.
No, also...
Okay, sorry, Rob. I'll let you read out the poster.
So for several months, a loose cow has been seen wandering in the area of Sheridan and I-75. It's evaded capture by both officers and assisting cow herders since January. If you know the owner of this cow, or if you know its whereabouts, please contact the PPPD, and then it gives a telephone number. But what I love is...
Well, I've got their wanted poster here, so something different.
Does it?
It says, description, female cow, brown with a white head, fast than it looks, talented fence jumper, enjoys pools, frequents the area near Sheridan Street and I-75. The cow is not considered dangerous, but it's been known to walk into the roadway. Drive carefully. I mean, the police are obviously having a laugh here.
I would hope so, yeah. I really, really would. So the article just finishes. The police department said the bovine fugitive is not considered dangerous, but has been spotted. Oh, literally, as you just read, and that's it. Yeah, that's what it was. So I thought I'd just like to bring people's attention to that.
Thank you, Rob. Right, Rob, I've got a brilliant story here. I think I told you in the week. Please do not look at a story with to do with the things which we're going to hear about in it.
Yes, yeah, I've deliberately avoided it.
It's from the traitor. Or have you seen the headline knocking around?
I have seen the headline.
And you haven't read it? Good, no. Good for you. I respect that, Rob. I really respect that. That takes what's the word? What's the word like when you willpower? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. This is from the Traitorous Guardian, Rob, by Naman Zhu, from the 30th of March. Astrophysicist gets magnets stuck up nose while inventing coronavirus device.
I mean, what a headline that is.
It is. Now, what it is, Rob, about this story, I'm going to be honest with you, it's the detail. It's layer upon layer upon layer of farce. Okay?
So this is when I saw that headline, just thought this man obviously has... I don't know, yeah, it just seems insane, the process he's gone through.
Right. An Australian astrophysicist has been admitted to hospital after getting 4 magnets stuck up his nose in an attempt to invent a device that stops people touching their faces during the coronavirus outbreak. Dr. Daniel Reardon, a fellow researcher at Melbourne University, was building a necklace that sounds an alarm on facial contact when the mishap occurred on Thursday night. So his idea is, wouldn't it be great if you could wear a necklace, but if you touch your face, it sounds off an alarm, so it's to stop you touching your face, right?
Okay, yeah, got that.
The 27-year-old astrophysicist who studies pulsars and gravitational waves said he was trying to liven up the boredom of self-isolation with the 4 powerful neodymium magnets. He says, I have some electronic equipment but really no experience of expertise in building circuits or things. I had a part that detects magnetic fields. I thought that if I built a circuit that could detect the magnetic field and we wore magnets on our wrists, then it could set off an alarm if you brought it too close to your face. A bit of boredom and set in isolation made me think of that. Are you with him so far?
Yeah.
However, the academic realised the electronic part he had did the opposite and would only complete a circuit when there was no magnetic field present. So he says, I accidentally invented a necklace that buzzes continuously unless you move your hand close to your face, he said. So basically, it didn't do what it was intended. After
this man apparently is a has a PhD.
Yeah. After scrapping that idea, I was still a bit bored playing with the magnets. It's the same logic as clipping pegs to your ears. I clipped them to my earlobes and then clipped them to my nostril, and things went downhill pretty quickly when I clipped the magnets to my other nostril. Reardon said he placed 2 magnets inside his nostrils, 2 on the outside. When he removed the magnets from the outside of his nose, the 2 inside stuck together. Unfortunately, the researcher then attempted to use what to remove the other magnets, Rob?
Right, can I ask a question? Was it something that's magnetic?
Well, I'll say he basically tried to use more magnets to replace the magnets already stuck up his nose.
Oh my God.
At this point, my partner who works at hospital was laughing at me, he said. I was trying to pull them out, but there is a ridge at the bottom of my nose you can't get past. After struggling for 20 minutes, I decided to Google the problem. Now, Rob, I'm surprised you didn't write into Yahoo Answers.
Yeah, that seems like the next... when you've gone down this clearly insane passage, that seems like the next logical step.
Yeah, so I decided to Google the problem and found an article about an 11-year-old boy who had the same problem, which I have to say is really striking lucky there. I wouldn't have thought there would be anybody that problem.
No, I agree.
The solution in that article was more magnets. So it was to put 2 on the outside to offset the pull from the ones inside. As I was pulling down, so do you see he's got the magnets on the inside, so he's trying to put more magnets on the outside to try and attract them to them and pull them down. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
As I was pulling downwards to try and remove the magnets, they clipped onto each other and I lost my grip, and those 2 magnets ended up in my left nostril while the other one was in the right. At this point, I run out of magnets.
See, that does beg the question, would he have continued at this point in time until all the magnets he had was stuck up his nose?
As I said, Robert, keeps giving. Before attending the hospital, Reardon attempted to use pliers to pull the magnets out.
Right.
But they became magnetised by the magnets inside his nose.
Fuck's sake.
Every time I brought the pliers close to my nose... Rob, please visualise what's happened to this man so far. Every time I brought the pliers close to my nose, my entire nose would shift towards the pliers. And then the pliers would stick to the magnet. It was a bit painful at this point. My partner took me to the hospital that she works in because she wanted all her colleagues to laugh at me. The doctors thought it was quite funny, making comments like, this is an injury due to self-isolation and boredom, and calling me things like wanker. That bit's not true.
I wish that was true.
At the hospital, a team of 2 doctors applied an anaesthetic spray, local anaesthetic, I assume, Rob.
Of course.
And manually removed the magnets from Reardon's nose. When they got the 3 out from the left nostril, the last one fell down my throat, he said. That could have been a bit of a problem if I swallowed or breathed in, but thankfully I was able to lean forward and cough it out. Needless to say, I'm not going to play with magnets anymore. Rob, do you want to hear what the medical record said, the official medical record?
Yes.
So in the further details section of the emergency department progress, it simply says, 2 hours ago, had 2 times neodymium, approximately 7mm in diameter, strong magnets up bilateral nostrils, stuck to each other via septum bilaterally, attempted removal, tried using 2 other magnets up left nostril, ended up with 3 magnets up left nostril, 1 up right, all stuck together via septum, denies difficulty breathing, denies further magnets. Can I just say, denies further magnets needs to be an album title.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think what kind of what genre would that be though. I just can't think of
dark techno.
Nice, yeah, maybe.
The astrophysicist told The Guardian he'd ruled out further experiments with magnets and face touching, would find other ways to pass the time while at home. I've got an idea for him, Rob. Masturbation
with magnets.
Okay, Rob, it is time for our listener story of the week. Who is it from? I'm looking forward.
So this week it is from. I've forgotten. Alex. It's really bad. Hang on.
You've forgotten, haven't you, Rob?
I've forgotten. I've just tried to open Facebook quickly. Come on, you bastard!
You can never fucking open Facebook quickly.
No, you really can't.
How is this app still around? How can it be that with all the money at their disposal they can't make a better website than what they've made?
I don't know. I really, because everything about Facebook looks clunky. It looks outdated. The interface is horrendous. How is this possible for a company that's worth something like 500 million? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I should have just guessed. Really, the story's from Amy. I should have taken a stab at that and just gone with it. It's from the Lincolnshire Live. It is from the 22nd of March. The story is by Ashley Franklin. And the headline: Coronavirus in Lincolnshire. Couple left gutted after COVID-19 cancels bargain hunts.
What? What, the show? Were they going to be on Bargain Hunt?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are outraged, Alex.
Whatever happened to David Dickinson?
He's on Bargain Hunt.
No, he doesn't do it anymore. It's somebody else who's been doing it for years now. Somebody else has been doing Bargain Hunt. I'm pretty sure.
Watched it. No, you're probably right. I've never seen it, I don't think. I don't know if they've ever seen it.
Let me check, because I don't want to, let me just check. I'm just going to put in Bargain Hunt. Bargain Hunt. I mean, I'm talking years he's not done it in my... Yeah, it's... it's done by guest presenters. So, would you like to know what's happened to David Dickinson?
Yeah, go on. Why not? I'm sure we've all asked ourselves the question at one stage or another.
Oh my! I mean, even just seeing a picture of him now, because I haven't seen him for so long, he is more orange than Trump, isn't he?
He's a bronzed mahogany. I mean, God's probably pushing it a bit.
I just love this section in Wikipedia. In 1998, a chance meeting with a TV producer at a barbecue led to Dickinson's TV appearance. A chance encounter with a producer at a barbecue is a very good episode title. That's
just Partridge. Let's be honest.
I absolutely agree. So the last time he's been seen, I think March 2014, he appeared in the 11th series of Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. The duo disguised themselves with prosthetics and fake accents to dupe Dickinson into believing there was a live argument and subsequent car crash on the set of his new fake show, Long Lost Treasures. During the aftermath of the wind-up and following a big reveal on Ant Dec, Dickinson said, "You two have done me up like a kipper." And he also played the Emperor, as in Emperor Palpatine, in the 3rd episode of the Keith and Paddy picture show, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. So that's I've not seen that.
No, what is? I've never even heard of that.
No, nor have I. It is. Oh, it's a British comedy parody series written by Keith Lemon and Paddy McGuinness.
Ah, that's why I haven't seen it. Right, got it.
Oh, sorry, he does. He presents Dickinson's Real Deal.
Oh, yes,
on ITV.
Of course he does.
That was it. He jumped ship. So he broadcasts on daytime, weekday afternoons. Old episodes are frequently repeated, Wikipedia notes.
I mean, okay, so he's gone for the money. I mean, he needs to buy that bronzer to keep that tan looking, well, frankly, ridiculous.
Can I just say a really good album title for an indie band is Old Episodes Are Frequently Repeated?
Very true, yeah. Do you know what band I've been listening to? I've only just recently got into, but they are... I don't know why it's taken me so long. Have you ever listened to Half Man, Half Biscuit?
No.
They are superb, but only because their lyrics are just unbelievable. Yeah, a lot of effort goes into writing their lyrics. They're kind of I think probably a post-punk band, but they've had like 14 albums. They're quite have quite a cult following, but they're fantastic. Anyway, by the by, a Lincoln couple have been left disappointed after the coronavirus scuppered their chance to appear on Bargain Hunt. James Frost and Becky Pipes Goldsborough, I think that's how you pronounce it, couldn't wait to get started after learning they'd been selected to appear on the popular daytime BBC show. The couple, who lived near the Gateshead pub in Newark Road, were due to record at the Great Antiques and Vintage Fair at Wetherby Racecourse this Saturday, March 14th. However, the outbreak of the coronavirus has seen the government call for large gatherings be cancelled, and many people being told to stay indoors and self-isolate if they are or a family member has been displaying symptoms of the disease. Mr. Frost, 44, told the Lincolnshire Live, "They, the BBC, called me at work, and of course, I understand the importance of the situation, but it's so close. They could have just topped the filming up on Saturday after the shoot. I'm gutted, but at least I still have the day off as a holiday, so a nice walk on the beach is in order." Obviously, this is before the lockdown. Also, it does look like they prepared, because there's some very fetching pictures of this couple in their Bargain Hunt fleeces, which hopefully they got to keep. While the dream may be on hold, Mr. Frost, who applied for the pair to be on the show during his lunch break as a quantity controller at a Branston's Potatoes Limited. Sorry, I don't know why that made me... He's a quality controller at Branston's Potato Limited. Why is that funny?
Because again, it's a very Partridge. It's the sort of person Partridge would interview on when he did Radio Norfolk. You know, what was his slot called when he did the early graveyard shift thing? I can't remember now.
No, I
can't Up with remember. The Partridge. I've got it right. Look, Rob, I've got it right in front of me on a mug. Radio Norwich. Nice. Up with the Partridge. Of course, it was called that. That's the kind of person he would have interviewed. Read his title to me again.
He's a quality controller. So does that mean he's controlling the quality of potatoes?
Well, yes, Rob. Of course, every potato factory will have quality control. It's one of those jobs I just didn't think that people ever did. I thought, there was just some understanding that potatoes are all different shapes and sizes. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You are
obviously,
wrong.
Well, I obviously am.
You're naive and small-minded.
But then, this man appeared to be on Bargain Hunt, so... but he's obviously... he insists they haven't given up hope of appearing on the show. It will be recorded later in the year, fingers crossed. No date's been confirmed, but we are top of the list for the next shoot, wherever that may be. Yeah, I think that's probably enough. You get the gist of it.
Would you say, Rob, that the kind of people who go on Bargain Hunt are Asda people?
See, this woman called... so Becky... Pipes Goldsborough doesn't sound like she's an Asda person. She sounds...
No.
That sounds...
tough.
A different level. Yeah, that sounds more like Waitrose, I'd say. But I could be wrong, Alex.
Marks and Spencer's, I'd say, Rob, a step above Waitrose.
Quite possibly, yeah. And also, they obviously appreciate antiques as well. So, yeah, maybe we're casting unfair aspersions on these people.
Well, we frequently do that, Rob. And, that is a fitting way to bring this episode to a close. We will be going through the headlines which didn't make it shortly, but we do look forward, Rob, don't we, with a mixture of eager anticipation yet trepidation to our next episode, which will be 310. And for those of you who've been fucking paying attention for the last however many episodes, I have been saying that on episode 310 I will reveal the dark secret of episode 300, our milestone episode, which within it contains a very dark secret. It's quite a shocking secret, isn't it, Rob? And I will reveal what that is. Episode 310. Don't let me forget, Rob. But we do look forward with a mixture of eager anticipation yet trepidation to episode 310 as we move ever more forward, Rob, like a
man who's gone to collect his windows from a dilapidated estate, in Salford. Just like that, we start making the way back down the M6.
With the wife in the car? In the boot?
Wife in the boot. Yep. Just like that.
And move ever more forward to our next episode, which, as I say, will be episode 310. We can be found on our website, lapodcast.net. There is a donate button in the top right-hand corner if you want to donate to the Worthy Causes podcast. But as we have said, if you are thinking of doing that right now, give money maybe to a charity helping to fight COVID-19 or support vulnerable people instead. But do leave us a review on whatever podcast app you're listening to us on. Hit subscribe there. We are on Spotify. You can find our episodes there as well. And we're on Facebook, facebook.com/LA Podcast. Twitter at LA Podcast. You want to submit us a story? You can tweet it to us, post it on Facebook, or email us the good old-fashioned way, lapodcast.net@gmail.com. That's lapodcast.net@gmail.com. And I like this now, Rob, because I have something to look forward to every week. Or every episode of LA Podcast. The headlines which never made it. Have you got some?
I have. I've got 3, but I've got some.
Okay, well I'll start off with a couple then, because I've got a few. 450-pound man hides marijuana in his stomach fat.
Obviously, yeah, makes sense.
Couple caught having sex in police parking lot walked to jail, authorities say. So basically, this was a story in America where they found this couple having sex in a police parking lot and actually took them directly from there to jail.
That makes sense, yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, go on, Rob.
So the first one is Snowdonia visitor blocked in by angry locals as police accords a standoff on Country Lane.
I need to know what this is about. I know this is cheating, but...
So... a man from Sheffield drove in his Range Rover to Snowdonia to visit, just as a round trip,
under the lockdown,
to take some exercise. Under the lockdown, and angry locals who are clearly pissed off decided to block in his Land Rover until the police arrived.
How did you not read this story?
Well, that's it. That's all there is to it.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I love this headline. Thai king, so this is the king of Thailand, self-isolates in luxury hotel with harem of 20 women. Amid coronavirus pandemic.
Have I never mentioned the King of Thailand? Because when we were
I never
out
thought
there,
I'd hear you say that.
Yeah, we're good friends, Alex. I thought I would have mentioned in conversation.
Go on.
So when we were in Thailand for our honeymoon, a lot of the locals told us a lot about him. So he's not particularly well liked. So his father was this really revered king.
Yeah.
Who was a great I can never say it, philanthropist.
Yeah.
And basically secured a lot of employment for his people, and he was venerated for many years. And his son is the complete opposite. So the Thai royal family are the richest royal family in the world, bar none.
Yeah, but he's a horrendous individual, this guy.
He is a horrendous... He's on to his 4th wife.
Yeah.
He doesn't live in Thailand. He lives in a castle in Germany. And he is the epitome of a playboy.
Yeah. Okay. I loved it. I did think of featuring this. It's a great headline. Quarantined New Yorker tries to recreate Italy magic by singing out of his window, Rob, but is swiftly told to shut the fuck up. And there's a video of it, and it's brilliant. So you see him singing out on the balcony window, and all you hear is this New Yorker just telling him to shut the fuck up.
Beautiful.
They won't tolerate that in New York, Rob. I've got one more. KFC suspends iconic finger looking good campaign amid coronavirus. Sensible move, I think.
Yep. I've got 2 more. So bagpiper makes 40-mile round trip to cheer up care home residents stuck in coronavirus lockdown.
Oh, what? So he can't come back?
I don't know. No. I think he made the trip to this care home so he could play them the bagpipes outside the care home to the residents.
Oh, that's quite sweet.
Yeah, it is quite sweet.
As a population works from home, Walmart reports increased sales for tops, but not pants. This is a true story. So people are buying less trousers and more tops. I do wonder how many people I'm speaking to at the moment over video conference are not wearing anything down below, Rob, including your good self.
I can show you.
I will prove right now I'm wearing jeans. I'm showing Rob my crotch in jeans.
Do I need to stand up?
Yes. Prove it.
Oh, hang on.
Prove it.
I'm also wearing jeans.
Rob, you could have tucked yourself in first.
Oh, did you not want to see the cock out?
No.
You need to be more clear about this. I've told you this.
Sorry. Okay, you got what? Go on. Got another one?
One more. So, Annabelle the one-eyed dog rescued from Chinese trade... Sorry. Oh, God. I really thought I'm going to get through that. Annabelle, the one-eyed dog rescued from the Chinese meat trade, supports her disabled owner in isolation.
There's a lot in that headline, Rob.
Yeah, that was a struggle to get through. So basically, a dog that was due to be eaten has been rescued and is now basically very kindly supporting her disabled owner while she's self-isolating.
And the dog has one eye. And the
dog has one eye.
And last headline that never made it, listeners. It's a great headline, isn't it? Ready, Rob?
Yep.
NASA data shows something leaking out of Uranus.
Oh, just a cheap joke to finish with. Beautiful.
Oh, of course, Rob. Thank you for listening, everybody. We are going to be back in a few days' time, hopefully, with another episode of Daft Talk, episode 2. And after that, we'll be back onto the local anaesthetic bandwagon train. I can't think of a suitable metaphor. God bless.
And keep it local.